All right, so your air conditioner smells when you turn it on, or maybe it smells all the time. I'm gonna show you a quick, easy way to fix that. The cause is from dirt and mildew getting into your air conditioning system, and it's sitting on your evaporator core. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna install a small plug on your HVAC box, and we're going to fill your entire air conditioning box full of cleaning foam and let it do its job of cleaning and flushing that out. And then we're gonna add a disinfecting air freshener to help prevent the smell from coming back. And I'm gonna give you some tips on what to do to prevent it from coming back as well. All right, so let's start with the things you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 3/8 wrench in order to tighten in your port. So you can see, little guy. You're gonna need a drill in order to drill the hole, and you're gonna need a 1/4 drill bit. You don't necessarily need a set, you just need the 1/4 drill bit. So that is pretty much it. It's very simple. You can leave this plug installed when you're done, or it also comes with this little hole plug that you can put on, make it a little less conspicuous. And then you need your Frigi-clean BG product. This is something that dealerships use. At your dealership, this is going to cost you sometimes upwards of $200 to get done. With your BG Frigi-clean kit, you're going to get some nicely detailed instructions. There's some real rough pictures on where they want you to install the ports. They want you to put a drain pan underneath. Honestly, the biggest perk of this is just to keep it off your sidewalk, but it can also kind of show you what's coming out when it's all clean. Just kind of real rough. It's in English and Spanish, I believe this is, yeah, maybe French. Either way, pretty detailed instructions. And then also there's this video to help you out, make this a lot easier. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna set up your drill with your 1/4 drill bit. You're gonna just install it in, chuck it up, tighten it up nice and tight. They also want you to mark your bit 1/4 down, so that way your bit doesn't go any deeper than 1/4 into your box. Best way to do this is going to be with a drill stop, but those are kind of not really needed, and we're just going to work with what we got here. Not everybody's going to have a drill stop. So what I'm going to show you is a little trick I've always used to keep an idea of where things are. You just take some tape, painter's tape. We're going to go roughly, I'm just going to eyeball 1/4. It doesn't have to be perfect. The idea is just so that it doesn't go too deep into your HVAC box and damage stuff inside there. So you just want to get just through the outer layer of plastic. It's not very thick. All right, so there's that. So this is the vehicle we're going to be performing the HVAC cleaning on. This is my wife's 1998 4Runner. It's used for camping, wheeling, and was a daily driver for some time until we got the Prius with our newest born. This vehicle, when she bought it, was tore up. She explains to me that it looked like they were raising farm animals in the back seat with how dirty it was. So, needless to say, its air conditioner doesn't smell that pretty. So, next thing they want you to do is locate your blower motor. Your blower motor is generally passenger side, depending on obviously what country you're on. If it's if you're somewhere where you're on a right-hand drive, well, I mean, it'd still be passenger side, I guess. Anyways, so blower motor is going to be in this vicinity right here, right underneath. On this one, it is right up underneath there. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to get you a better view here in a little bit with a light, so bear with me. All right, so here we are. We got a little bit better light. We got our blower motor right here. You can usually pick it out because it's got a metal case on the bottom. Try to get you a pointer right there. And this is our HVAC box. This little lower section where you see it kind of tapers down, that's probably about where our air conditioning evaporator core is. So I've decided I'm gonna put it right about here. I'm gonna put my port to fill this box full of foam to clean it out. So you're just gonna wanna look, you're gonna wanna watch out for things like this. That's gonna be a thermistor. That has to do with controlling the temperature of your air conditioner. You wouldn't want to drill right here or here because that has stuff pushing out of it and you could drill straight through it on accident. So I'm gonna kind of come off to the side over here. When you're drilling, you don't have to push very hard at all. It's just plastic. Even if your bit is dull, it's gonna probably cut straight through it, no problem. So now that we have our hole drilled, we've got our 3/8 wrench and our port to hook up the can with. So you're just gonna set that in the hole, tighten it by hand as much as you can. I can get almost all the way there, and then just finish it up with the wrench. Now on this particular application, I believe I'm going to be removing this port because it kind of pokes down a little bit. Somebody could probably kick it with their foot and potentially break it off, which is not what we want. So now that you have that connected, you take your can. It's not gonna have a top on it. That's why it comes with this top with a hose. You install on the can, remove the cap that covers the button, and screw the end directly onto your port. Okay, so once you have your Frigi-clean can connected to your HVAC box, they want you to start your vehicle. They want you to put your blower on the highest possible speed. They want the temperature to its max cold position, and they want your vent control to be on outside vent. They don't want you to be recirculating the inside air. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna air. They want your AC to be on as well. Once you've got all those requirements met, you can go ahead and hold the can upright like so. Depress the button, and if your blower motor starts to squeak, you release the button until the squeaking goes away, and then continue to insert the chemical. I'm also going to be putting this clean, relatively clean bowl underneath the vehicle where the AC drain is. It's generally towards the passenger tire, kind of just behind it roughly. Somewhere right about right there. And now we're just gonna go ahead and camera set, maybe, and add our fluid. You're just gonna keep holding the button and hold the button, and it's gonna slowly fill up your entire HVAC compartment. Pretty quickly you can start to smell. It's a pretty refreshing smell that it has. It's not a chemical odor or anything. It smells pretty nice. Okay, so once you have the entire contents of the can into your HVAC box, they want you to let the car run for a minute and then turn it off. At that point, you can go ahead and remove the can hose and the threaded adapter if you'd like and put the plug, or it also says you can leave the plug and just put the cap on it, or you could also just leave the hose on and tape the hose up somewhere on your HVAC box for next time when you want to do it again. I suggest putting the plug, especially if it's in somewhere that it can easily be hit. It's up to you totally on what you want to do with that, but I suggest the plug. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the hose from the connector, and I got lucky enough that it's pulling the plug with it, which is just what I wanted. I then have my plug, and you just install it in the hole, and that part is done. Easy as that. Okay, so once your vehicle is sat for the 10 minutes, they want you to go ahead and start it back up. I'm gonna go ahead and fire mine up. And put your air conditioning back on high and also on recirc. So this is what your AC vent should look like. You should not be on recirc, you should be on vent. AC should be on high, cold to the face vents coming out the middle. Okay. Once you've had it running for 8 minutes, you're gonna go ahead and take your can of Frigi-clean, which is an air freshener disinfectant, and you're gonna spray it into your fresh air vents, which are gonna be located up here on your wiper cowl. Sometimes you have to open the hood to get to them. Luckily enough on this one, we don't have to, so it's all right there. can see, air conditioner is dripping, and there's dirt coming out with it. Sure, some of it's off the frame, but I know that there is definitely a lot of dirt coming out of that air conditioning system for sure. Alright, it's been running for the 8 minutes that it asked for. I'm going to take this can, I'm going to spray the entire contents of this can into the fresh air vents, and it is then going to disperse it into the car through the air conditioning system. So you just take it and you can clean any residue that this leaves behind off. It's not going to damage your vehicle at all. Alright, so once you sprayed the entire can of Frigi-clean into your fresh air ducts, you're just going to go ahead and turn off the car and let it sit for 30 minutes, and then you're good to go. Okay, one thing I didn't mention right here at the bottom of the instructions, it talks about the Frigi-clean fluid coming out of your vents when you're running. It says it's not going to do any damage to your vinyl or leather. It may leave a clean spot, but it will not damage it. You just wipe it up as it comes out. Just kind of be careful. You don't want to get it in your eyes. Like if your face is in there near one of the vents, it could spray at your eyes. And you want to make sure you don't get anything on your eyes. So try to stay away from the vents, or maybe even wear some safety glasses would be a good idea. All right, so now you got your air conditioning system no longer smelling like a wet dog. How do you keep it that way for a longer period of time? Best ways to do that are when it's not very hot outside and you're running your air conditioner, turn it to fresh air. That's going to allow the evaporator to dry better. That's what causes all this smell, is moisture getting stuck inside your HVAC box. So the more you can run it on fresh air during times when you don't need your air conditioning to be super, super cold, the better. Also during the during the fall is when I seem to notice a lot more vehicles having this problem. Reason being is during the day it's hot, you run your air conditioner, and then at night it gets really, really cold and the moisture starts to set in, dew starts to set in, and that evaporator never really gets a chance to dry out. The best way to help with that is when you park your car to put it on fresh air. Don't keep it on recirc, move it to the fresh air, and this is going to allow your evaporator to do a better job of drying itself. You do these simple things and keep your cabin air filter clean, I don't think you'll ever have a problem with smell ever again. Last thing I wanted to mention, in an effort to grow my channel, I have started an Instagram page. I will add a link for it in the description. I'm also going to add a link where you can go and buy the can of Frigi-clean and any of the other tools that you may need along the way. Hopefully you already have a lot of these. Some people do, some people don't. You can pick them up at a basic hardware store, but I'm going to link to where you can get them online if you'd like. One more thing to mention, one of my Instagram followers was so kind to give me a shout out, so I wanted to give him a shout out. His name is Amir Elbasel. I will put a link if you want to go check out his page. He's a photographer from New York. Pretty cool guy. Got to talk to him for a little bit. He works on his dad's Mercedes. Pretty cool. Anyways, thanks for watching.